I have to kind of go back to where Dr. King's legacy became real to me. In 1965, Martin Luther King came to the housing project in which I lived, Altgeld Gardens on the south side of Chicago. Now, Altgeld Gardens was no prize. It started off as a classic black neighborhood where you had working class, you had more well-to-do, and you had poor. You had all three represented. Because in 1945, it was built as a place for black soldiers to come and live in Chicago after World War II. So there wasn't a lot of inspiration, there weren't a lot of dreams, because things were bleak. So in 1965, when Martin Luther King came to Altgeld Gardens, my mother made it a point to take me, my brother, and my sister there to hear him. Now, I was 4 years old, so of course I don't remember what he said, but I do remember the crowd, and I remember people on top of the buildings taking pictures, things like that. And my mother would use Martin Luther King's sayings as a way to inspire us. I mean, my mother was not an educated woman, but she would paraphrase it, and we knew what she meant. And so one of her favorite things was to reference Dr. King's street sweeper speech, where he says that if you have a calling to be a street sweeper, you should do it like Michelangelo paints, like Beethoven composes, that you should do it to the best of your ability. So she would always say that, and we found that inspiring. So it was through those quotes that I was able to dream of something bigger and better than where I was. So, but where does that leave me today? As a little boy in the late 1960s, I was able to dream and be inspired by Martin Luther King and my mother quoting Martin Luther King. Today, I'm inspired by what I see in the millennials. And they are going to be the generation that is empowered. So I looked at that and I said, wow, if they take their worldview, which is drastically different from ours, and they take that and they rise to power as they are on track to do, this generation, the millennials, have a real opportunity to fulfill Dr. King's dream. That aspect of his dream where he talks about the sons of slave owners and the sons of slaves sitting down together at the table of brotherhood. That could be a reality. I just hope that I live long enough to see it.